But Adam, I want to be affordable to everyone.
Howdy, folks. Adam Katz from DogTrainerToolbox.com. A few weeks ago, I met for beers to have beer and buffalo wings, which, if you know me, that's kind of like my raison d'existence, as the people who don't speak French very well would butcher. Anyways, had beers with a guy named Mark Stiving, who wrote this book called Impact Pricing. Mark actually lives in our area. I first met Mark several years ago when he was a client of our third dog training business, Katz Trains Dogs, back when I owned that company. And Mark and I kind of became friends. He's an expert at teaching pricing strategies to large corporations. And we had this conversation because a few days prior to that, I had had a phone consultation with a young dog trainer who had recently moved to a new area. And this dog trainer was bragging to me that he was charging $2,400 for a 3-week board and train. Now, I know a lot of you out there are watching this thinking like, wow, that's a lot of money. It's really not, because what we're seeing on average across all markets is that most dog trainers are typically charging roughly $3,000 for a 3-week board and train. And he was kind of bragging to me that he was charging 2,400 and everybody else in his market was charging 3,000. Well, that's not a good thing. You do not want to be, number one, competing on price, because if you compete on price, that means basically you're a commodity. And the secret to marketing and promoting your dog training business is that you need to be doing everything you can to position yourself as anything but a commodity, because commodity pricing is a race to the bottom. You're going to end up competing with the Petco and PetSmart trainers who are charging $10 an hour. So you need to differentiate yourself in a manner that allows you to charge at least as much as everybody else is charging. But, really, it's a poor strategy to be looking at other dog trainers and try to figure out what to charge based on what they're charging. What you need to do is you need to listen to the market in market feedback. And that leads to something that Mark Stiving and I talked about, which was a concept called pricing insensitivity. What that means is that you need to keep pushing up your prices until the market responds with a little bit of pushback. And so that difference between what he was charging, 2,400, and what we know the market will pay, which is at least 3,000, there's a lot of wiggle room in between those two prices. And so what this young dog trainer really needs to do is he needs to increase his prices up to at least that point, because you have this open area right here, right in between, that you're just really leaving money on the table. It doesn't make any sense to do that. So what I encouraged him to do was structure his offer. I mean, it sounded like his offer was comparable to everybody else's offer. So he should be charging at least 3,000 for that, because again, they're not going to not buy from you because you charged 3,000 instead of 2,400. That there's that price insensitivity range in between. And so what ends up happening is you end up, as a service provider, end up leaving all this money on the table. And one of the things you need to really understand is that when you're selling dog training, especially at those prices, it very much is a luxury service. And so the difference between 2,400 and 3,000, it's not like these people can afford 2,400, but they can't afford 3,000. They can. It's just a matter of you need to restructure how you offer your services to take advantage of that.
But Adam, I want to be affordable to everyone.
No, you owe it to yourself to get paid what you're worth. Now, we as business owners, we set prices, but we don't determine the prices. The marketplace does that. And so it's our responsibility as a business owner, if we want to stay in business, to charge exactly everything that the market will bear. Because if you don't, your competition will. And that means your competition can spend more on advertising. That means that your competition can spend more on hiring better employees. They can have a nicer facility. They can offer their clients more perks and benefits. Everything works better when you charge up to what the market will bear. And so you cannot go in and just decide, okay, I'm going to arbitrarily set the price this much lower. I mean, you can, but you're doing yourself and your business and your clients a dramatic disservice. Now, why do I suggest that you use market feedback and testing rather than just looking at what other dog trainers your competition is charging? Because the reality is, in this industry, in the dog training industry, it is a very immature industry. Immature, not meaning like the people who are in it are immature little people, which is kind of true in some cases. But what I mean is that the marketplace itself has not matured. So what you have are a lot of business owners, a lot of dog training business owners who are doing exactly the same this guy was doing. They're looking to their left and the right, and they're looking at what the other dog trainers are charging, and they think, well, I might as well charge what they're charging. That, again, is not the correct approach, because those guys, more than likely, and I know this industry pretty well, those guys don't know what the hell they're doing either. So your market may actually bear way more than $3,000. I know several dog trainers that are charging $4,000, $5,000, even $6,000 for a 3-week or 4-week board and train program. So you need to test that. You need to keep increasing your prices. You need to set a baseline and then keep increasing your prices until you start getting serious pushback. So to do that, I would look at, my baseline, which you should be closing if you're doing in-person consultations. If you're only doing phone consultations, it's a different thing. But if you're doing in-person consultations, you should be closing between 70 to 80% of the people that you get in front of. And so if you're charging $3,000 for a 3-week board and train, and you're closing 70 to 80% of those, then maybe try bumping it up to $3,500, maybe try bumping it up to $4,000. See if your numbers go down. Now, be careful not to psych yourself out, because there's a tendency to internally think, oh man, they're not going to go for this because it's more expensive than I've been charging. So don't do that. But you need to test it, because you may find that if you're closing consistently 80% at $3,000 and you increase it to $3,500 and you're still closing 80%, and you increase it to $4,000 and you're still closing 80%, well, what that means is that you've just effectively negotiated a 25% raise for yourself and for your business. Hey, I'm Adam Katz for DogTrainerToolbox.com. If you own a dog training business, or for that matter, a daycare, boarding, grooming type business, and you need more clients, you need more desperate dog owners calling you each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, get in touch with me at my website, DogTrainerToolbox.com. What I do is I run Google ad campaigns specifically for dog training business owners or pet industry business owners. And we're getting amazing results. We run campaigns. At this point, we've helped well over 100 dog training business owners get motivated, desperate dog owners with money in hand who are looking for what it is you have to offer to pick up the phone and call you, or fill out the contact form or text you. But basically connect you with the type of desperate dog owners that are looking for the service that you provide. If that sounds interesting, head on over to DogTrainerToolbox.com, click on the box in the upper left-hand corner that says Expert Google Ads Management for Dog Trainers Only. Read through that page. It'll explain everything from the type of ad spend you should be spending, to the management fee, to how many leads you can expect per month. All of that is on that page. If it makes sense, there's a link at the bottom to my calendar booking app. You can book a free 30-minute phone consultation with me, so we can get on the phone and find out if what we're doing with Google Ads can help grow your dog training business. And the reality is Google is a very zero-sum game. So we only work with one dog trainer per territory, or per city, per market per se. But the only way to know is to get in touch with me. If we already have a client, we have lots of testimonials, some of them from current clients, some of them from past clients who've, gone on to bigger and brighter things, maybe due to death, divorce, change of business plans, moving, who knows. So definitely get in touch with us, because even though you may see testimonials from somebody else in your city, we may or may not still be working with them. So in that sense, hope to talk to you soon. And if you haven't joined, check out our Dog Trainer Marketing Group on Facebook. It's free to join. You'll be among at this point, I think we've got about 2,500 other dog training business owners swapping tips, secrets, and strategies on how to grow their business. Talk to you soon, guys.